Right. Um, I'm going to wait to see if everything's working because I am new at this basically. Hmm. Everybody just please let me know if everything is on. Um, I'm gonna just wait till people come in, but do let me know if there's sound. Okay. Hello and welcome. This is gonna be live. I'm going to adjust some things that if the sound is a little bit low, it's probably because maybe try to put up your volume because this is as loud as I can talk. I'm talking today directly into the phone. We're going to be talking about a few different points. Some points that I think are very important for people who are living in Russia, for people who are planning to move to Russia, for people who think of Russia and the rest of the world. As you see in the thumbnail, I put on that Tucker Carlson coming to Russia is as a win for Russia, but it's also a win for the United States. And these two countries are basically tied through most recent events, and we're gonna break down these things. I have a lot of things to show you. I hope that this stream, I hope that the stream will teach you something because I have certainly learned a lot during my big break. I have not posted any content for, I don't know, more than 30 days. The channel has been growing, some views have been growing. So I think that you can follow me today as we dive into this Tucker Carlson thing. And if you guys have any questions, we will have time for questions. You can ask me where I've been, what I've been up to. Hello, Preeter. Dobre Utra from Mexico. So I'm gonna finish doing some couple things for the stream. Please bear with me. Give me 1 second here. I have to make sure to turn all these different things on, and then we'll get going. All right. So, first of all, I wanted to show you guys a little bit about what my opinions are, first of all, with this guy coming over to Russia and why I think it's important. One of the biggest reasons why I think it's important for him to have come to Russia is because nobody was trying to. There was nobody trying to speak with the president of Russia. You know, if there was a problem in the world and Russia was the problem, how would we ever get to fix that problem if the biggest, most important country in the world, like the military power, the United States, is not speaking to the problem? So finally, this guy comes over and sits down with the president of Russia, the world's problem, right? For me, it was really fascinating, the idea of it happening. But actually, after watching the interview, I wasn't really impressed with the questions. I wasn't really impressed with the dialogue that happened. But to take from this, the most important thing is that President Putin showed how approachable he was to the rest of the world, right? Because in a time when everybody has their phone in their hands, they want to be able to see who, I don't know, maybe a president of a country speaking, and you can actually find now President Putin speaking with people, which is absolutely fascinating. It's fascinating because now you can see what he's thinking. This is not very common. You don't see the President of the United States speaking for 2 hours, right? That's what the most important thing that came from this interview was. It wasn't what Putin said. It wasn't what Tucker asked. It was the mere fact that Putin, the president of Russia, sat down and spoke with a journalist. You know, he gave the time for the rest of the world so that they could see what he's thinking. Now, I'm going to be playing a few clips, or some of the clips from that interview. We're going to be watching it. Hopefully you guys have already watched it. Hopefully the sound reaches you. But I want to play you some clips at random, right? Because what I'm saying right now, I am not impressed about the dialogue in the video. I'm impressed with the fact that the president of a country sat down and talked with this guy. So let's go. Привет, Sergey. Let's go now. Tell me. Let me know, guys. We're going to be doing this.
Of what do you think? And with that, here it is. Mr. President, thank you. On February 22nd, 2022, you addressed your country in a nationwide address when the conflict in Ukraine started. And you said that you were acting because you had come to the conclusion that the United States, through NATO, might initiate a, quote, surprise attack on our country. And to American ears, that sounds paranoid. Tell us why you believe the United States might strike Russia out of the blue. How did you conclude that?
All right. I'm just going to stop right there. And, you know, in my opinion, it was, let me know, by the way, if you could hear, if you guys can hear the words coming out of the other video. Let me know if that sound is coming through. Let me know. So the sound is echoey. Okay. Well, look, if it's not going to work, I'll get this closer. But look, in this leading question, and in the for me, it was really interesting. You know, Putin is getting ready. He's adjusting himself. He even smiled a little bit, right? You can see his confidence is like through the roof. I don't think that there's another world leader today that will sit down and be asked about conflicts like this. Could you imagine if George W. Bush was questioned by a foreign journalist about the wars in Iraq, the wars in Afghanistan, so clearly? And we don't have to play the whole clip, but I just want you to know that I was impressed with the mannerisms and how direct the president of Russia was. I'm not going to be playing the full response, but I find it amazing that this even happened. To get to another point here, I want to show you this.
One of the ways you understand a society is through its infrastructure.
This
the
is
places
Tucker.
where people gather, the places where they go to travel.
This is Tucker Carlson showing the Moscow metro, which is insane, right? Because we made a video about the Moscow metro here, and our video has almost 1.5 million views. And this is why I'm saying that the visit from Tucker Carlson is a win for the United States, because our video had 1.2 million views before the visit from this American journalist to Russia. And out of nowhere, he comes and visits, and the video has grown almost by 300,000, 400,000 views. And it's not only Russian people seeing this video, it's Americans, it's Australians. This is a major win. These are people who have never thought about Russia. You know, a lot of people who who never even thought about Russia, who are in their Midwestern towns in the United States, when this guy comes and shows that he can sit down with the president, they gain interest and they start asking questions like, hey, wait a minute, what's going on in that country, right? In my opinion, again, it's brought so many eyes that have never been on Russia, and I can see that through the algorithm. My video skyrocketed, 300,000 views. That's insane. That's more than like 95% of all of the content I've ever created on a video that's months old. So what is your guys' opinion on this? I'm really curious. We'll go to the questions. I want to go and I want to read the chat. So if you guys have any questions, please ask them now. I'm going to take like 10 minutes for questions. I'm a little bit rusty, I know. I'm just I'm mind blown that the views have skyrocketed on old videos. The prices on rent and housing on Russia, that video has gained over 100,000 views. So there's a lot of Westerners watching, wanting to come to Russia now. And if you noticed, there's a lot of expats in Russia whose channels are blowing up. Unfortunately, I am not in Russia right now, so I can't be producing content like I wish I could, but our channel here in the wild Siberia has grown immensely anyways. So I'm from Uzbekistan. Do you think it will help our country also? 100%. All of the Soviet countries gain a lot from this, because Russia is considered itself an Eastern European country, even though they have land and territory in the West, but the rest of Europe sees Russia as a lower tier. This is the truth, guys. There's nothing I can do about it, right? But with that being said, because Russia is carrying countries like Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, even Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, Russia is carrying them on their back because they are tied at the belly button as former Soviet countries. Russia has been exporting its culture, and part of Uzbekistan culture and all of these cultures are tied, whether you believe it or not, whether you want to accept it or not. When you're in Russia, there's a lot of Uzbeks there. So Uzbek wins if Russia wins. That is my answer. So why have I removed all my previous lives? Yeah, I removed my previous lives because, I wanted to restart. There was some weird things going on that I don't want to get into right now, but I kind of want to reset the channel, refocus, and unfortunately all of those lives are gone. I will start making more archives. So guys, if you have any questions, please do ask in the comments here. In the live chat. ¿Cómo estás, compa? Oye, ¿has usado el tren transiberiano? Responde en inglés. Ay, perdón. Okay, so this guy, Luis, is asking if I've used the Trans-Siberian Railroad. Luis, of course I've used the Trans-Siberian. A lot of my old videos is actually me traveling through the Trans-Siberian to get either to Western Russia or to get to Mongolia, which is a part of the Trans-Siberian Railroad that goes through under Lake Baikal and connects you to Mongolia and China and Vladivostok. What is the wild winter here in Mexico or in Russia? So please just ask a little bit clearer because I'm not sure what you're trying to say. So in Russia, a mild winter is probably like minus 10 Celsius to minus 30 Celsius. Anything in between 10 and 30 Celsius is mild for Russia because it can get to negative 40. Right now in Irkutsk Oblast, it's going to be negative 35 to negative 40 Celsius. So that's extreme. But mild is like negative 10 Celsius. This is nothing for Russia. If it would be negative 10 Celsius all winter, Russians would be in their shorts. Hello, Daniel. You're a cool guy. Don't get lost. Otherwise, you haven't been around for a long time. When am I coming back to Russia? A lot of people are asking me when I'm coming back to Russia, and actually, that's something that I'm going to be talking about in a future life after this one, now that I'm warming up, now that I'm getting used to being on the camera again. But, you know, it is what it is. So, and the reason, you know, Peanut is asking if anybody's still talking about this interview. I didn't talk about the interview, and I didn't make videos about the interview, like real videos, because, you know, for me, it just seemed like I already knew what was going on, right? I already knew that it was going to be a success, and I'm not trying to get views or subscribers off of that. I'm just trying to, I'm wishing the best for the Russians, for the Americans, and the rest of the world, and that's why I'm saying that was a win for Russia, and it was a win for the United States. And I'm talking about it now because I think it's appropriate now to say, okay, it was something that was good for everybody. So good for Tucker, good for Russia, good for President Putin, and good for us Americans who want to visit Russia. You know, now the thought about Russia has gone to the good side for the majority of the people who were on the middle, right? Could you imagine having no opinion about Russia and then seeing, because Tucker has shown how much groceries cost, how clean Moscow is, and these are videos that I had already made a year ago, right? I'm not trying to say that I did it first because and you should glorify me, but I'm saying the videos had already existed, but I am nobody. And I'm humbly a small YouTuber, but Tucker Carlson showing Moscow, showing the metro, showing the prices, showing how clean it is, showing you how that these are normal people. That right there is a beautiful thing. I will be saving this live, and we will be keeping from now on the lives translated and everything. The question about Ksenia. So if you guys want to talk about Ksenia, sure, we can talk about her later, but she's here in the chat right now. And I think personally that she's gonna have some great news for you guys in about a week and a half. If you guys miss her and you guys want to talk with her, just wait a week and a half and we'll have more news about Ksenia. Hello, Dan. Can you tell us about the interview, how it was taken by Americans? I think that it's more important okay, first I'll tell you what Americans think. It was widely accepted. It was widely necessary. The interview had to happen. Somebody had to go speak with the president of Russia. And the fact that he sat down and spoke, the Americans took it very well because we have a president who can't even speak a full sentence, right? So we don't know what's going on inside of President Biden's head. And it's very refreshing to hear a world leader. Kara, do you understand that us Americans, we appreciate when people sit and speak very clearly. And unfortunately, we can't get that from the president here in the United States. I think if Russians would be smart, they would care more what they think about the interview, because actually the Russian people should realize, hey, look, the American people are curious. This is very important. You need to think about this. Russian people should feel happy that Americans are curious, because Tucker Carlson didn't interview President Putin for Russians. No, you already know who your president is. You already know what he thinks. But you Russians should be proud that Americans are curious, because Tucker Carlson did that for the American public. I hope that makes sense. I hope this makes sense to you, that it's an interview that was given to the Americans for their curiosity, and Russians should be happy that Americans are curious about Russia, because that's going to bring everything together. Uh, Doc Johnson, very cool. Semper Fi, brother. I was a corpsman and I served with the Marines. I'm so happy I found your channel. You know, I'm so happy to have so many military veterans who watch this channel in particular. You know, there's a lot of expats out there, and maybe some are veterans, but not a lot of veterans are combat veterans. And I've lived in Russia for 2 years. I lived in Russia for 2 years, and it brings a lot of veterans a little bit of peace to know that somebody with my military experience and my military merit lived peacefully in Russia and was not bothered by the Russian officials. And, you know, oh my God. Hello to Yambo, by the way, guys. Isaac, I lived in Yambo in Bulgaria. Big shout out to Bulgaria. It is an Orthodox country who is a brother to Russia. A lot of love to Bulgaria. Okay, so let's go on and ask more questions here on the chat. I will be talking about some things that maybe Ksenia will not be happy with, because I want to talk about some big topics that a lot of people are asking, like the death of this Navalny guy and the fall of Avdiivka. I think a lot of you guys have seen my military analysis summaries. And if you haven't, I will be showing you a little bit later. So let me get this next clip ready for you guys. Hopefully, like I said, you can hear. And if you can't, I feel really bad. Here we go.
February 2024, in the middle of a war. Here it is.
So this is Tucker in the metro. You know, and they're recording. I mean, this is a professional guy. This is a professional guy. This is a professional guy just showing the architecture, showing small things. It's fascinating that to them, to the American public, we love to see this because we're so used to like the dirtiness, right? Could you imagine this is Tucker Carlson and his crew, and they reach the metro. They have to go down these escalators, and then they see mosaics, and then they see a clean floor. They see the Russian people in order going to work. Could you imagine how mind blown they must have been? Honestly, when I went to Russia and I went to the metro, it felt like an alien planet, because I had been from the slums. A lot of people come from slums in America. Tucker Carlson is probably like high middle class or medium, mid class or high class, and his mind is blown, right? The Americans, when we see such things, we get so excited. I almost cried watching that part, because I remember with Ksenia spending 6 hours filming our video, seeing these mosaics, seeing these statues underground that were initially built for the people, like palaces. Stalin said this is the people's palace, but also, you know, they work as nuclear war shelters. You could have an underground city. Guys, Tucker Carlson showed that clip of the metro, and 300,000 views came to our channel, right? These are not all Russian people. These are Westerners, and I'm repeating to you that it is a win for you Russian people who are watching, because now the world, you know, it's not only Americans, it's Canadians, Australians. They're watching your civilization. There's nothing greater in this world than to feel like you exist. Because could you imagine you're in your head you feel like you don't exist. The world tried to delete Russia, and Russia was being pressed into this dark abyss, and this was a win for Russia. Let's see, guys, I need more questions. Please ask some questions in the chat. My name is Dan Casso. I'm a United States Marine Corps Afghanistan combat veteran who lived in Russia for 2 years. I'm currently in Mexico. I produce content from Russia and from my travels. My fiance Ksenia is also the co-producer of this channel. She is currently in Slyudanka, Irkutsk Oblast. That is my home, where I will return one day. I am currently waiting for my trip back to Russia. I am talking today about Tucker Carlson's visit to Russia and how that's a win for Russia and for the United States. Why am I in Mexico? Well, that's a really good question. I'm in Mexico because I'm getting my Mexican I'm a Mexican citizen, but I want to get my paperwork so that I can marry Ksenia, and so she can be a Mexican citizen, so we can travel through Europe, so we can travel a little bit more freely, so that my children can be Mexican citizens. Do you go to Russia now, or are you still in America? So I'm still in Mexico, guys. For all you who don't know, I'm still in Mexico. Well, you and Eddie collaborate, of course. I want to remind you guys that this channel is the home of collaborations of the community. I self-proclaimed it because of my shows that I used to have on live, right? You guys remember when I used to bring other content creators on live every Saturday? It's coming back. And of course I will have Eddie. He's a great friend. I've met him in Moscow before he even had a channel. Daniel, it would be interesting to hear about Ksenia's opinion on the United States. I think we've already made videos, guys, about Ksenia's opinion on the United States, but of course we will redo these videos. A lot of you guys are new subscribers. Let's see. I'm also mind blown, the beauty of the train station. Yeah, Nante, where are you from? Let's see where he's from. Yeah, so a lot of people who are here are probably, new to the channel. So if you don't know, this channel was originally founded in Siberia. This is why the name is called Wild Siberia. If you don't know also this, my fiance, the reason why I even lived in Russia and I stayed in Russia is because of Ksenia. If you want to know the truth, it's this. I was never planning on staying in Russia. I wanted to visit Russia, but I fell in love with the people, with the nature, and then I met Ksusha, the love of my life, and I stayed in Russia. I lived a whole year without making YouTube content. And then, I really thought to myself, maybe people should see the Siberian part, because there was so much content in Moscow and in St. Petersburg, and there was no content in Siberia, which I consider to be the real Russia, the backbone of Russia. And people will be mad about this, but I believe that the people in Siberia kind of produce everything to feed the rest of the country. Do you know Survival Russia? Yugster, of course I know my friend Lars. I've made videos with him. If you watch my old videos, you will see me with Lars. Yeah, it's been a great adventure that I've had with all of my friends. I've made content with more than 3 creators that you guys probably know. So, yeah. So I want to say something really fast in Spanish for all of my viewers who are watching and can speak Spanish. Buenos días, aquí estoy en Guadalajara, México. Actualmente estoy arreglando para casarme con Ksenia. Quiero que ella obtenga la ciudadanía mexicana. Quiero que ella pueda viajar por el mundo con su pasaporte mexicano. Hace mucho tiempo no la dejaron volar por Turquía y es un gran problema para mí. Entonces yo quiero casarme con ella. Obviamente tengo que estar en México para hacer los trámites y no pasa nada, ¿eh? Un saludo muy grande para todos los que hablen español y a los que entendieron este mensaje. So, I want to move on to this next portion of this live where I show you a little bit about, I want to show you a little bit about our video that we made in the Moscow metro. So you guys understand that we actually did it many months ago, and in my opinion, it was the hardest video to make. So here we go. Let's mute that and then we'll move on. Give me 1 second, guys. Here we go. So this is the video that I'm talking about, guys. This video is 1,470 something thousand views, and it has grown immensely. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. I will pin it for you guys so you guys can rewatch it if you'd like. But for now, let's watch this clip and marvel at it. A lot of people complained about how I went in as people were coming out, but we had to record. That's Peter the Great. There's Lenin. Now the brown line has more modern trains, and the trains don't make as much noise as the green line. And inside they're definitely way more modern. This is the new line that they made in Moscow. The trains are a lot newer. All right, guys. So they have electric plugs on the new ones. And there's my fiance right there. On every chair, you could actually connect your phone and charge up while you're going. And this is on the brown line. These are new trains. Now, sometimes when the trains arrive at the same time, you get to see people running across. Look at that. Because they have to get on the other train. You know, guys, this train station is dedicated to the Belarusian government and the Russian government's friendship. This is... Oh, look at that guy looking at the camera. You know, it was really hard to make this video. It was so much noise from the trains. It was so much pressure from the people coming out. Honestly, it was really high tense, guys. But as you can see, there's so many people using the metro. I believe that this video will probably reach 1.7 million in the future. I'm going to pin it for you guys. This is the video. You guys can watch this video again if you haven't watched it. If you've watched it, you can watch it if you haven't watched it. But you know, Tucker Carlson's visit to Moscow, everybody's views have gone up. All of the content from Russia has gone up. This is the curiosity of the world, wanting to see Russia. There's no better time to visit Russia than now. Why? Because the relationship between Russia and America, the population-wise, it's very big. There's so many new people making new channels who will outgrow me. You know, my channel is going to be a puny channel compared to somebody who makes a channel maybe tomorrow and is in Moscow. You know, the truth is, right now, Russia is the center of the universe, whether it's because the world hates it or because the world is starting to love it. Russia is the center of our universe right now. And I couldn't be more proud to have made that video with Ksenia and my friends, Damir, who will probably watch this video. You know, it was my dream when I told Ksenia, I said, hey, we must make this video. It was my dream to bring the beauty to the West. And it's clearly happened. Thanks to my friend Damir and Ksenia for the collaboration. So, guys, if you guys have any more questions, we can ask some questions now. I am very happy to answer anything, but please remember to be respectful, right? So, yeah, make sure you guys please ask questions, because that's how this works. All right. My dream is to open a channel one day to show our fruit stand in Uzbekistan. I mean, look, listen. When I was in Afghanistan, I was called Akram Kelafroj, which is like Akram the banana seller. So I know the banana stalls are really famous in the stand countries. How much alimony and child support do you pay to Olena? No idea who Olena is, but I'm paying nothing, thank God. But my Instagram is this. That is my Instagram, and Ksenia's Instagram is this. On Instagram, you can follow Ksenia. So a lot of people have been asking, where is my fiance? My fiance is right now in Russia right now. So if you want to follow Ksenia, this is her Instagram. If you guys want, I can make a video about my reaction to the interview, but I think it is too late. I don't think people would watch it. The way the algorithm works, it's like hot news pops off and leaves. I don't know. I'm just very happy that Tucker went to Russia, because it brought eyes from America. Our curiosity has been fed. We wanted to know if Putin would actually sit down and speak, and he did. When will I be back in Russia? My hopes is that I can go to Russia as soon as possible. As soon as I know, I will let you guys know. You know, I'm not trying to make secrets or build suspense. I want to be in Russia as soon as possible. I want your reaction to Putin's post-interview reaction. Okay, I'll make a lot of these type of things. I will do these things if you guys ask for it. But right now I'm asking for your support to grow the channel. I linked the metro station video on top, and you guys can share this video with your friends. You can share this live with your friends. It is what it is. Am I returning to Russia? If so, when? I am returning to Russia. My dream is to have my children in Russia. I want Ksenia to have her baby in Russia. This is my goal. I don't want my children to be born outside of the land which their mother is from. I think that it is important for our babies to be born where Ksusha was born. This is one thing that I will honor for her father and her mother. Where do I plan to buy a house in Russia? I plan to buy a house in Sludanka, where I'm from. Привет, друзья, привет. Yeah, far east of Russia is my worth visit. Yeah, you know, I have plans to travel around Russia again as soon as I'm back in Russia. But the most important thing is that I am healthy, and that Ksenia is healthy, and that you know, I'm making this video live so that you guys know that I'm back on YouTube. I'm trying to make content again, because it has ignited my fire, this curiosity from the West, because of this visit. This is why I'm telling you that Tucker Carlson's visit is a win. I'm going to be showing you another one of another clip from another video, guys. Yeah, thank you very much. If you guys have any more questions, please remember to tag me on the chat so we can answer your questions. Here I'm going to be sharing with you a few other things that I've been up to. And you guys can tell me what you think. Okay, here we go. Wait. Okay. I want to make it very clear that I'm not leaving the United States because I'm disillusioned, because I'm angry at it. I'm not a traitor to my nation. In fact, I believe that the Russian people respect me more because I am not a person who bites the hand that feeds them. I've told you guys many times, my mother is happy in the United States. She has made her life, and I will honor her citizenship to the United States and mine until the day I die. It happened many times when I've had people ask me, hey, what do you think about the Russian spirit and the Russian soul? You know, I was in Irkutsk, I was in Novosibirsk, I was in Kirov, I was in St. Petersburg, I was in Ulan-Ude, I was in so many parts of Russia. And the one thing they want to know is, how does it feel, your Russian soul? And you know, the first times I had no idea what they were talking about. But I'm going to tell you how I found the Russian soul inside of me. I need you guys to... The reason why I'm playing the clip from the Russian soul video is because I want you to notice that I have the Russian flag and the Mexican flag behind me. I do have an American flag, but it is in the United States. I already told you I am in Mexico right now. But I want you to understand that I will always honor my Mexican and my American heritage. But I will always be proud to say that I lived in Russia and that I will live in Russia and that I will have the Russian soul in my heart. I mean, Nectar, I work in Russia. When I live in Russia, I work in Russia, and I can buy my home with this money. I don't need to stay outside of Russia. I don't need to. If possible, please do some more videos on Mexico. I live in Texas. In the 1970s, we were made... Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to make more videos in Mexico. But actually, the people are... Right now, it's a little bit stressful for me to be carrying a camera. I thought that it was hard to film in Russia with the camera in front of people's faces. Like, could you imagine like holding something like this and recording people? In Russia, I thought it was hard. It's actually a little bit more difficult in Mexico because you don't really know if you're recording somebody who's in organized crime. And I'm not trying to say that Mexico is a bad place. I'm just trying to say that in Mexico, it's a little bit more... I was feeling I have to get more comfortable, even though I speak the language. I kind of had my confidence in Russia. Now I have to rebuild my confidence. I'm not so confident in making videos right now. Are you American or Mexican? I'm a dual citizenship holder. I have American citizenship. I was born in the United States, but I hold Mexican citizenship. So I'm a Mexican citizen. I'm a Mexican American. May you convince... Why you not bring Ksenia to Mexico and live there? I didn't bring Ksenia to Mexico because the Turkish government and the Turkish airlines didn't allow Russians to leave Europe, basically. They denied her and they called her a prostitute and they told her to get off the plane. So you guys already know that story. If you don't know, that's how it went. Interested in your parents' thoughts on the border situation at the moment. You know, there's so many Russians in Mexico right now, guys. I'm planning a trip to the capital of Mexico where there's a bunch of Russian, right now, the Russians that were able to leave Russia, you know, to travel or to move to abroad are living in Mexico right now. And there's a lot of them. And I will be showing you some of these neighborhoods filled with Russians. Am I more comfortable with the weather in California or Siberia? I think that I'm more comfortable in Siberia. California is just way too hot, and in Siberia you can always wear clothes for the cold weather. If Ksenia ever comes to Mexico, we will definitely travel a little bit in Mexico so you guys can have a Russian's perspective of Mexico. This will be really important. Do you happen to know how Edward is doing? Yeah, I don't know anything about that guy. He's got a Telegram where he puts his own opinions and thoughts. You should join his Telegram to see what he's doing. Most of liberals left Russia. I don't think that Russians have like traditional liberals. I think that Russians have like modern liberals, which is a big difference. So I don't know what you would call that, but it's definitely not the liberals. Definitely not liberals who left Russia. Because I know a lot of Russians who are not in Russia right now, who are proud Russians and who support their president. But it's a very complex thing, guys. You need to never choose sides, right? You can never say, oh, he's a coward because he left, or he doesn't support Russia because he left. You never know what's going on in their minds. I am not in Russia right now, and I was a big lover of Russian society, so I could be seen as some sort of coward, I guess, for leaving Russia, even though I'm not even Russian. But those kind of things exist. A lot of people who are in Russia right now probably think that I was scared, because I'm a veteran or stuff like this. Not so. Yeah. Would you ever consider coming to Uzbekistan? Yeah, I'm going to Uzbekistan to see the metro. Oh, by the way, 1 second. I'll be right back. You know, I have my little flag here. It's not the best flag. It's not the best flag because we got this in Mexico. But I want everybody to know that I'm in love with my fiance. She's Russian. You need to respect other cultures. You need to embrace other cultures. I'm not scared to show, a Russian flag. I wanted to make that very clear to everybody who's watching still on this live, that you should never be scared, especially when your other half is from a country that the world tried to put into the abyss. You should never be scared of that. So that was just my Russian flag, and I wanted to say that I love Ksenia, and that I'm going to be wrapping up this live. Please do. What market can I tap into of Eastern European countries, specifically Russia? I'm not sure right now because everything changes so fast. In Russia, everything changes so fast. The world is moving really quickly right now in Russia. So Eastern Europe, I have no idea, but Russia, I had a clue, but it is what it is. Yeah, if you guys, I'm still here for you, but this live is working between both sides, myself and you guys. How does the Marine Corps compare to the Russian Army? That's a really interesting question. If you guys want to talk about the military, we can talk about Avdiivka, which I predicted a long time ago. Just to prove a point here, we're going to be going and showing you guys my prediction on the conflict. One second, guys. Let's see here.
One of those major battles.
All right, so we're gonna look at this small part from the Real Reporter. It is a video where I predicted, the Battle of Avdiivka, and I actually predicted it months before this video. This video was made 3 months ago, and I made a prediction that Avdiivka would be a major battle. Maybe like 6 or 7 months ago. So that's actually a very interesting thing that you guys probably didn't know, that I do military analysis with the Real Reporter. And let's watch this clip. Everything that I used was captured. Could you believe the disgrace that I felt?
I can operate those weapons in my sleep. Ukrainians look at them and it would take them more than 4 years to operate them because they're in English or in German.
So you think Avdiivka is going to be one of those major battles?
Avdiivka has held for a long time. They've all predicted the Ukrainians are done, the Ukrainians are done. For a lot of people, they think that the Russians are almighty. They've been winning every campaign, and it is not so.
All right, we can't really show too much of that because we'll get like demonetized. But what the point I'm trying to prove is for all you guys who like military stuff and want to know about the military, how it works and stuff like this. Look, I'll tell you in this small clip, and I'll link it for you guys so that you guys can see it. I predicted that the Battle of Avdiivka would happen this way, and it is finally finalized. When you're asking about the Marines and the difference between the Marines and the Russian military, it is a very complex question because these two militaries, they don't work the same. And thank God that they're not on the same continent so that they won't have to fight. But I think that the American Marines are a superior fighting force. Not than the Russians, but what I'm saying is like when I was in, the Marine Corps was at a very high tier with experience, with capabilities. And right now, Russia is showing what its military can do, right? We don't really know what American military can do right now, but we know what the Russian military is capable of. So we can't compare them because we don't know what the American military is like. So yeah, it is what it is. Anyways, I think that since there's no other questions, we're probably going to be ending this live. Thank you guys for watching. Please do remember to watch the older videos. I'm going to be making videos coming up, perhaps maybe one tomorrow, so you guys can watch it. Let's see. Are you a Republican or a Democrat? Are you interested in U.S. politics? Not interested in politics in America at all. I think that the two-party system is broken. That's my opinion, and that's it. But yeah. So if there's no further questions, guys, please do consider subscribing. Please do consider watching my older videos. Thank you guys so much for... It's so funny. You know, I'm going to stay online just because of the C-130 guy. Who has no idea what he's talking about. This is the mentality of the clown robots on the internet who thought that the operation would end in 3 days, who have no idea what war is like. You know, it's a comedy, man. It's absolute comedy. Yes, I will be making videos in Guadalajara, but you guys need to use what's between your ears, unlike this kid, C-130, who is obviously some sort of robot. All right. Rangers lead the way. It's comedy. You know, it's always the people with no experience who speak. Guys, subscribe and watch the older videos, and I'll try to produce a video for Monday. Goodbye.